If you like our video, click the button to subscribe to our channel and get easy access to new content. To see our full suite of ad-free video courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides, visit us at www.teachucomp.com. A knockout in Photoshop lets you make the content of a selected layer and layers which you choose beneath it transparent to reveal the content of a layer beneath those selected layers. The topmost layer's content acts like a mask to knock out the content of the chosen layers below it, so you can see through them to the layer content below those selected layers. As such, the order of the layers in the Layers panel, their group or clipping mask settings, and their blending options are all important parts of creating a knockout in Photoshop. When creating a knockout in Photoshop, you must choose which layer creates the knockout shape, which layers have their content knocked out by that layer, and which layer is revealed. To reveal a layer other than the background layer in the Photoshop document, place the layers to use in either a layer group or clipping mask, as we'll discuss momentarily. To create a knockout that shows the background layer in Photoshop, place the layer that creates the knockout shape at the top of the stack of layers to knock out, and make sure the bottommost layer in the document is a background layer. Alternatively, to create a knockout in Photoshop that shows a layer other than the background layer, place the layer that creates the knockout shape at the top of the stack of layers to knock out, and then add all those layers into a layer group. Then ensure the layer with the content to reveal is placed below that layer group in the Layers panel. In this case, the top layer of the layer group knocks out the content of the other layers in the layer group to reveal the content of the layer immediately below it in the Layers panel. Alternatively, to reveal the base layer of a clipping mask in Photoshop, place the layer that creates the knockout shape at the top of the stack of layers to knock out, and then add the layers to a clipping mask as described in the earlier lesson titled How to Create Clipping Masks in Photoshop. If needed, select the base layer in the clipping mask in the Layers panel, and then either select Layer, Layer Style, Blending options from the menu bar, or double-click the layer in the Layers panel and ensure the Blend Clipped Layers as Group checkbox is checked in the Layer Style dialog box that appears, which it should be by default. Then close the dialog box. Next, to create the knockout for all knockout types, select the layer that creates the knockout shape at the top of the stack of layers in the Layers panel. Then select Layer, Layer Style, Blending options from the menu bar, or double-click the layer in the Layers panel to open the Layer Style dialog box. Then select the desired Knockout Style option from the Knockout dropdown in the Advanced Blending section of the Layer Style dialog box. To knock out content down to the first possible stopping point based on your layer organization, like the first layer after a layer group, for example, select the Shallow choice from the dropdown. Alternatively, to knock out all the way down to the background layer, select the Deep choice from the dropdown. Note that if there is no background layer in the Photoshop document, then selecting Deep instead knocks out to Transparency. Also note that if you are not using a layer group or clipping mask, then selecting either knockout style choice knocks out to the background layer. Next, to apply the knockout effect, either lower the Fill Opacity slider in the Advanced Blending section of the Layer Style dialog box, Or select a choice from the Blend Mode dropdown that reveals the underlying pixels, like exclusion, for example. To finish applying the knockout effect, then click the OK button in the Layer Style dialog box. Remember to click the subscribe button to see more of our videos. See our full suite of courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides at www.teachucomp.com.